A dozen patients injured, 5 people killed, and a horrific path of destruction left behind on the interstate. Today we're hearing from Travis County EMS for the first time since the night of that deadly I-35 crash in North Austin. KXAN's Tom Miller talked with Captain Krista Stedman about the response and the Good Samaritan whose help they welcomed.
When did EMS get word that this crash was major, and how did that impact the response?
For the first couple of minutes, it was kind of unclear how big this incident was, but as we continued to get additional calls, our call takers were able to get more information and pretty quickly realized that this was bigger than just a normal collision.
And with so many victims, how do EMS paramedics go about prioritizing who to go to first?
Yeah, so we do what we call triage, where essentially the first unit that arrives on scene is going to check in with as many vehicles as they can. In this situation, there was almost no way that they would be able to get to every single one just because it was such a big scene. But you're going to look for the vehicles that are most damaged, and you're going to assess the patients inside. And depending on what you find, you put them in sort of a priority list. So, when we talk about mass casualty incidents like this, when someone is very obviously deceased, we would just move on to the next person because the next person might be savable.
You said that night that it took about 40 minutes to get to all of the different victims. We know that traffic was down to one lane in that area. There are concrete barriers in that area. How do you even get in and out, and was that difficult to access everyone?
Yeah, certainly accessing the scene was really difficult, not just because of the traffic, but because of where it was on the highway. That area of I-35 is so narrow, and it has, like you mentioned, those concrete barriers. So a lot of our crews actually ended up accessing the scene from the frontage road. And we did what we call counterflow. So we go north on the southbound frontage road. That way we can put ourselves right next to the scene and get as close as possible. There's actually one civilian bystander that was really, really helpful, especially to those fire crews when they first got on scene. Anytime we have a scene that large with that many people involved, helpful bystanders are so valuable to us because it's a force multiplier, and we can't be right next to every patient at once. But the more that our community members are able to help us out, that's really, really special.
Captain Krista Stedman with Travis County EMS, thank you for your time.
No problem.